it's Mena. Welcome back to my channel, or if this is the very first video that you're seeing of me, then welcome to my channel. Please be sure to hit the subscribe button down below if you didn't already. I post every day of the week for all. And today in this video, since today is Walt Disney's birthday, so happy birthday, Walt Disney. The world misses you, and you were an amazing creator. And in honor of Walt Disney, I'm going to do a review, a movie review on the 1950 Cinderella. I'm sure you guys all know the story of Cinderella and how it's about this girl who's got beauty, and she has some jealous a jealous stepmother and jealous stepsisters, and they mistreat her and put her in the attic and make her a slave and cruelly treat her, but she remains gentle and kind and stuff. So I'm going to get started on this one. So again, I'm going to say what the story is. I'm sure most of you know it. So Cinderella is about this woman, voiced by Eileen Woods, who is cruelly treated by her stepmother, voiced by Eleanor Audley, and her stepsisters, Anastasia, who is voiced by Lucille Bliss, and her other stepsister named Drizella, who is voiced by Rhoda Williams. And Cinderella is cruelly treated by them because they treat her like a servant rather than a family member, and she has dreams of finding happiness of her own, and she tries everything she can to make her dreams come true. Okay, so to start off, I love Cinderella, the 1950 version. It's one of my favorite Disney movies. I've mentioned this in my top 10 versions of Cinderella, which I'll link down below. And I think I mentioned this in other videos, but I can't remember which ones. So once I figure it out, I'll link them all down below. This is one of my favorite ones. I actually used to watch this a lot when I was a little kid. I actually have a copy of it right here. So this is my copy of Cinderella. This actually used to be my dad's copy, but he gave it to me because we weren't going over to his house anymore, and he was giving away a bunch of his kids' videos, so he let me keep this one, and he knows I love Cinderella. It's one of my favorite Disney movies. I love this movie just because I like the story, I love the plot, and I love a good film that is wonderful fairy tale made into a good film. I love the characters, I love the plot, and I love the songs, and it's such a wonderful movie. And again, I have a top 10 Cinderella versions of Cinderella, which this is mentioned in, and I'll link it down below. And it's just one of my favorite Disney movies. Next, I'm going to talk about the director. This was directed by Clyde Jerome, and he's directed so many movies that if I named them all, it would take up way too much time. So I'm just saying he's directed so many Disney movies that I'm very familiar with. I'm not going to name them all because then this video doesn't get so long and stuff. And this is also directed by Hamilton Luske, and he also directed so many movies that I've seen, like Pinocchio and stuff, and I'm just not going to name them all because that would take up so much time, and I just don't want you guys to get bored. And this was also directed by Wilfred Jackson. This took like 3 directors to make, and this took like 3 directors to make, and he directed Wilfred Jackson directed Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, Pinocchio, Fantasia, Dumbo, Alice in Wonderland, Peter Pan. And so he directed the 1950 Alice in Wonderland, so just so people don't get confused and think I'm talking about the 2010. So yeah, I think they're both pretty good directors. They've directed a lot of my favorite Disney movies, and they did an awesome job on the artwork. Next, I'm going to talk about the characters. I'm going to start off the humans, and I'm going to go by as fast as I can so then you guys don't get bored. First, I'm going to talk about Cinderella. I love Cinderella. I love how sweet and kind she is, and I love the fact that she makes clothes for all her little mice friends and little bird friends, and I think that's super duper cute. I've seen so many commentaries of Cinderella where people get so irritated about the clothes that the animals are wearing. I don't know why, but I think it's kind of funny that the people who would do the commentaries would get so annoyed by the animals wearing clothes, which I don't think is a big deal. I think it's super cute. And I love the fact that she cares about other people, and she does everything she can to help a lot of people. And she's voiced by Eileen Woods, and Eileen Woods, I'm not familiar with her in anything else but this movie. Next, I'm going to talk about Lady Tremaine. I don't like Lady Tremaine. I don't like the fact that she mistreats Cinderella and she's jealous of her, and I just don't like the fact that she shows more love for her own daughters and doesn't even show a speck of love for Cinderella. And she is voiced by Eleanor Audley, and Eleanor Audley, I recognize her as the voice of Maleficent from Sleeping Beauty. Next, I'll talk about Anastasia Germain. I don't like Anastasia in the first film. I've never seen the other two sequels to Cinderella, but I don't like her in this film because I hate the fact that she mistreats Cinderella, and she constantly goes along with her mother and other sisters' behavior, which I don't like. And she is voiced by Lucille Bliss, and Lucille Bliss, I recognize her as the Sunflower from Alice in Wonderland, and she also was one of the mermaids in Peter Pan 1953, and she was also an additional voice in 101 Dalmatians. Next, I'm going to talk about Drizella. I don't like Drizella at all. I don't like the fact that she constantly mistreats Cinderella due to her jealousy either. And goes along with her mother and sister. And she's voiced by Rhoda Williams, and Rhoda Williams, I don't recognize her in anything else but this movie. Next, I'm going to talk about Prince Charming. So he doesn't have much of a scene in this movie. He only appears for like a couple seconds. I mean, not a couple seconds in each film. He only appears in like 2 scenes. One thing I like about him is I like the fact that he and Cinderella have kind of a connection, even though I'm not a huge fan of falling in love films where characters are falling in love right away. I like characters to take their time. I like the fact that he has a good singing voice, and I love the fact that he's very kind and helpful to Cinderella. And for his speaking voice, he's voiced by William Phillips, and William Phillips, I'm not familiar with him in anything else in this movie. And for his singing, he's voiced by Mike Douglas, and Mike Douglas, I am not familiar with him in anything else with this movie. Next, I'm going to talk about the Grand Duke. One thing I like about the Grand Duke is I like the fact that he's funny, and he does everything he can to help the king and the prince, and I like the fact that he goes along with like whatever the king says, and I think it's really good that he's very kind and caring to Cinderella. And he's voiced by Louis Van Rooten, and Louis Van Rooten, I'm not familiar with him in anything else but this movie. Next, I'm going to talk about the animals. I really like Gus. I like how he is super funny, and like he cares about his friend, and he's always going along with what the other mice do, and I think that's really cool. And he's a mouse, and he's voiced by Jim McDonald, and Jim McDonald I've seen in so many movies that if I named them all, it would take up so much time. Next, I'm going to talk about Jacques, and he is also a mouse. I really like Jacques. I like how the fact that he acts as a leader to the other mice, and he is very helpful to Cinderella, and I love the fact that he and the other animals are all wearing like cute little clothes and stuff, and I think that's really awesome. Whoops, sorry, I forgot to add one character for the humans. I'll probably get to it after I finish the animals. And I always like the fact that he just cares for so many of the other mice. And he's also voiced by Jimmy McDonald, and I've seen him in so many movies that if I said them all, it would take up so much time. Next, I'm going to talk about Lucifer. I like Lucifer. I think he's pretty funny when he always gets scared of the dog, and I also like the fact that he's kind of sneaky, and he's kind of a silly cat, and the only thing I don't like is how he makes more work for Cinderella. And he's a cat, and he's voiced by June Foray, and June Foray I've seen in so many movies that if I named them all, it would take up so much time. Next, I'm going to talk about Bruno, who is Cinderella's dog. I like Bruno. I like the fact that he's very loyal to Cinderella, and I like the fact that he cares about Cinderella, and he loves her very much. And I love the fact that he also has dreams too. And he's a dog, and he's voiced by Earl Keane, and Earl Keane, I don't recognize him in anything else but this movie. Next, I'm going to talk about Major, who is Cinderella's horse. I like Major. I like the fact that he's always loyal to Cinderella and loves her very much and knows that she cares for him. And I love the fact that she always looks up to her. And he's a horse again, and he's voiced by Earl Keane as well. And again, I'm not familiar with him in anything else with this movie. Next, I'm going to talk about the Fairy Godmother. Yes, she's not an animal, just so you guys know. I accidentally skipped her by mistake because I didn't see her on the list. And I love the fact that the Fairy Godmother is very helpful to Cinderella, and she kind of acts like a motherly figure and does everything she can for Cinderella, and make sure she gets what she wants, and she just is a very kind and compassionate person and does everything she can for Cinderella. And she's voiced by Verna Felton, and Verna Felton, again, I've seen her in so many movies that if I named them all, this video would probably be an hour long. Next, I'm going to talk about the setting. This takes place in a kingdom. I could not find what country this was from. I assume this takes place in a European country, like France or something. If you guys know what the story of Cinderella takes place in, please let me know down in the comments below, because I have no idea. And I like the kingdom. It's so pretty. I love the fact it looks super realistic and super beautiful. I love all of the artwork and everything. I think they did an amazing job making it look so realistic. Next, I'm going to talk about the songs. I love the songs in Cinderella. They're some of my favorites, and I have some videos of me singing some of these songs. And if you want to know of which ones I'm singing, I will say which ones they are, and I'll link the videos down below. I like A Dream Is a Wish Your Heart Makes, and this is sung by Eileen Woods. I like this song because I love the fact it talks about how Cinderella talks about how she wants her dreams to come true, and then she refuses to tell her dreams because she knows they won't come true if they tell. Because dream is like a wish. And I do have a video of me singing that song, and if you would like to see it, I will link it down below. Next, I'm going to talk about the song Sing Sweet Nightingale. This is such a beautiful song. I love the sound of it. It's got a great tone, especially when Anastasia and Drizella sing it, even though they're not very good at it. I like it better when it's sung by Cinderella. I think it's just a more beautiful melody, but I think it's super funny how Anastasia and Drizella sing it. Next, I'm going to talk about Bibbidi Bobbidi Boo. This is a really fun song about making magic and how it comes a lot quicker, and I think it's a really fun song to get magic going and everything, and I think that's awesome. Next, I'm going to talk about So This Is Love. This is one of my favorite Disney songs from Cinderella. I like this song just because it talks about falling in love, and it talks about how it feels to fall in love, and I really love that. And I also have a video of me singing this song, and if you want to see that, I will link it down below as well. Well, this is sung by Eileen Woods and Mike Douglas. And it's such a beautiful song. So I would recommend Cinderella to anybody who loves a good fairy tale made into a great movie, because this is a wonderful fairy tale made into a good movie. I love this movie, because it's a wonderful film. It is a great film with its characters. It's got wonderful songs, and it's got beautiful artwork as well, and it's such a beautiful film. Okay, so that was my review on Cinderella. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching. Sorry this is so long, but thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. I post every day of the week for a while, and I'll see you in another video soon. Bye!